Alrighty, we were here last time.
Yes.
Okay. Where did we say this one will be recorded again? Let's just revise.
Okay.
There's 80,000 rand.
That's for direct materials, the balance at the beginning of the year.
Balance at the beginning of the year of direct materials. Perfect. Where does this one go?
Work in progress. Doesn't this go in factory overheads?
No. Work in process. Work in process.
Then it's direct labor.
No.
It's
Work in process goes straight to PCS. Do you understand what PCS is?
The
Production cost statement. It goes straight to production cost statement. And work in process at the beginning of the year, you normally add it. Remember we spoke about it.
Oh, yes.
And the one at the end of the year, you will subtract it.
Subtract it.
All right. Let's see. We did everything here, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Yes, we did everything.
Okay. Let's just go through stuff, just for you to understand. So you'll have balance at the beginning of the year for direct materials. Is it 80,000?
Yes, 80,000.
And then you will have purchases, which is 200,000 plus 60,000. We didn't have any returns,
no.
Right? And then that will give you 260,000.
Yes.
And then you have carriage inwards, which was 30,000. I mean.
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna add those up. It'll give you 370,000.
Yes.
You didn't have balance at the end of the year, but you had raw materials issued to production, which was 330,000. And then you had to find the difference between the two, right?
Yes.
To get that 40,000, which is balance at the end of the year.
Also, it's not part of this work in progress. It's not that.
No, work in process falls under production cost statement. It doesn't go to raw materials. Remember, everything I've highlighted here. Whenever they say raw materials, you must just know that it comes to your raw material note. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't go to your raw material note. And for direct labor, we said for direct labor, it'll simply direct labor that belongs to the factory.
Yes.
Right? That is direct labor for factory, which was 100,000. You were gonna add skills development levy if you had one. You were gonna add unemployment insurance fund. But what? Contributions. You add only contributions. Medical aid contributions and every contribution. Okay. And then you're gonna add medical aid contribution as I've just specified. And then it will give you your direct labor. Your total direct labor in this case is simply 100,000.
Let me just write these down.
Okay.
So if you're saying here it's only the contribution
by the employer.
By the employer?
Yes, only. Remember, your factory wage must always be gross salary. It's before deductions.
Oh, okay.
And you must also include your bonuses if you have any bonuses.
Oh yes, for direct labor. Yes. Okay.
And then we did factory overheads. Under factory overheads, we'll have consumables. Consumables was 24,000, but from that 24,000, you needed to subtract consumables at the end of the year. Do you have consumables at the end of the year?
I have it as here. I have it as 24,000 as indirect material.
Yes, which is indirect material that was purchased. Here it is.
Yes, this one. Yes.
But then you need to remember it's indirect materials at the beginning of the year. Plus purchases minus returns, but we didn't have any returns, right?
Yes.
And then you minus indirect materials at the end of the year. Do we have them here? You need to check balances at the end of the year.
Yes, we have for consumables.
Consumable, which is
Yes,
6,000.
6,000.
That's the one that we need to subtract. That's why I'm subtracting it here. And 24,000 minus 6,000, it'll give you 18,000.
Okay. 6, 18,000. Okay.
And then you will have indirect labor or salaries and wages, right?
Yes.
Your indirect labor in this scenario is 60,000.
60,000.
Because that is for indirect,
Indirect
right?
labor.
And then you will have depreciation of factory equipment. Do we have it?
Depreciation.
It's either factory equipment or factory vehicles.
Wait a minute. I have it here as, I don't know, it's factory overheads. And then 16,000.
I wonder what that is. Let me just check. Here it is, you see?
Oh, yeah.
This factory, well, it's not that. How? I just saw it. Depreciation written off during the year amounted to 26, right? This was on factory equipment, which is 60,000. We're supposed to write depreciation on factory equipment, but I just wrote it as depreciation. It's totally up to you.
Because
but it must be,
yeah,
it must be depreciation of the asset that was used at the factory.
Okay. Okay.
We good?
Yes.
Which is 16,000. And then you're going to have factory rent. We spoke about that as well, which is 200,000 multiplied by 3 over 5.
Over 5, yes.
You understand that, right?
Yes,
by the way, ratios work exactly the same as when you're given factory space. Not just factory space, but if you're given space, they tell you that factory is 200 square meters, occupies 200 square meters. They will simply add, say admin occupies probably how much? Let's say it's 300, and they say selling and distribution occupies 500. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna add them up. They will give you 1,000. But factory is only how much? 200. So it'll be 200 over 1,000, and you just multiply it by your rent. If you're not given any ratios, but they gave you factory space. Okay. I think we do have an example on that. We'll do it. And then we've got sundry expenses. Sundry expenses, you got this right. You said it's 80%, which is 20,000. You add all of that up, you will get 354,000.
354. So this 354 is it for factory
overheads only.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go straight to our production cost statement. Remember, it starts with what?
Where's this thing? Starts with direct material.
Direct material cost. Direct material cost, or you can simply say direct materials issued to production. It's totally up to you. Which was how much? 330.
330, yes.
And then you're gonna have your direct labor. Direct labor, which was 100,000. Yes. You add those two, they will give you your prime cost.
Well, prime cost is the one here on top.
Yes. For this example, it's on top. But you just need to check what type of layout you are given. At times, it will be direct material, direct labor, and then you underline it, and you're gonna have the prime cost. Okay. So it differs. You just need to check the format that is given to you. Okay. I'm just using a different method here, format. Okay. And the last thing is factory overheads. Factory overheads will simply be what we just found now, calculated, which is 354,000.
Yes.
When you add prime cost and factory overheads, do you still remember what you get?
Prime cost and factory overheads.
We did it right at the beginning.
It's not total material cost.
not material, manufacturing cost. Yes,
cost.
that will be your total manufacturing cost, which is just total
Okay.
cost of production, and that will be 784,000.
But there's more, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The other one will be work in
Work in
progress. You see where you
progress.
bring work in progress. This format will never change.
Okay.
But work in progress at the beginning of the year,
Beginning of the
I
year.
highlighted it even earlier on. What do we do with it? We edit.
Edit, yes.
Alright, hence I'm gonna have balance at the beginning of the year,
It's
which is
40,000.
this amount here. Work in process,
Oh,
which is
working-
40,000. And then you're gonna add it with the 784,000, it'll give you 824,000. And then check what you do. Less.
You subtract.
You subtract what? Work in process at the end of the year. Where is it? There it is,
44,000.
which is 44,000. You minus that, and then you will simply get your cost of production, your total manufacturing cost or cost of production of finished goods. It will be 780,000. That's it. This statement will always be this way. It will never change. And it's
Always.
simple. It's
Yeah.
direct material, direct labor. Both of them, they give you prime cost. Prime cost, you add overheads. Overheads, it gives you total manufacturing cost. Add work in progress at the beginning of the year, and minus work in process at the end of the year, it gives you cost of production of finished goods.
Yeah. Okay. Now then you find exams, it's a different story.
It's not. We're gonna be doing them. We're gonna be doing them.
Yeah, we should do.
So the plan is for you not to forget anything. Just before a lesson, I'm just gonna give you something. Okay.
Okay.
Not really a lesson. Probably I'll give it to you since we meet on Monday and Tuesday. I'll give it to you on Friday. And then you do it over the weekend because I don't want anything to disturb your school. Because what we're doing here is different, and you don't mention it at school, okay? Because some teachers, I don't mind if my kids have extra lessons, but some teachers will end up hating on you for no reasons. Okay. So I don't want that to happen to you. Rather not mention it at school to your teacher. And yeah.
Okay.
And even when you know something, don't say, but ma'am, you're wrong there. Because now you're going to bring trouble to yourself.
Yeah. Then automatically they'll pick it up. And then, well,
just show them my results when a period. Okay. Just keep quiet and show them my results. I'm saying that because in my former school, I remember the teacher that was teaching there got angry at my kids because they had extra lessons with me. So I don't mind because you helping me. I mean, you pass. It's good for me as a teacher. But some teachers take offense on that. Hey, but you guys are lucky, eh? Some kids are not learning at all. Huh?
Yeah, some kids haven't been learning.
I was listening to the news. Do you know in government schools, grade 11s stopped learning in the first term?
From last year?
From last year.
I know of that.
And then towards the end, they were just catching up. So they only know first term's work. And remember, first term with them is 3 months. It's not like us. I don't know how many months your first term is. Ours is like...
Yeah, it's also the same.
Ours is, we have 3 terms. So our first term is a bit longer. If you have 4 terms, it's very, very short. I think it's around... It's less than a month. It's less than a month.
Yeah.
If I remember well.
Some kids are really suffering.
Yeah, you guys are taking over. Don't mess up, eh? Don't mess up because you have advantage over them. So capitalize. You need to be their employer. You'll be in demand because you sorted. So don't mess it up. This is just for you to know it, okay? Because we're gonna do it later on. It's not given to you, so you have to draw it just behind the handout,
Oh, okay. No
before the next handout, okay? You don't really have to draw the
problem.
wait.
I draw it here.
Yeah, you need to draw it here because you can't write anything on the okay. So this is note number 4. I just want to show you how it'll be like. Okay. So everything that comes here is all about what?
Finished goods.
So it's opening stock of,
Finished goods.
and then you're gonna have cost of production. But remember where this one comes from, right?
From the production cost statement.
Exactly, it comes from the production cost statement.
Yes.
Okay, and then you're gonna add that, and then you're gonna, in this case we had it, and then you're gonna minus closing stock of what?
Finished goods.
So I'm giving you hints here. Immediately when they say opening stock finished goods, closing stock finished goods, just know it goes to your cost of sales. We normally refer to it as cost of sales, but it's cost of finished goods.
Goods. Okay.
That's a clue. Remember, for materials, everything that says raw materials
Just
goes
put
to
it
under direct
under
material.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
and obviously with your finished goods you're gonna put them in brackets, and then they will give you cost of sales.
Sales.
And we're gonna do one example where you are given sales, and you need to work backwards to find your total, your manufacturing cost of finished goods.
Finished goods.
And then you take this and then you work backwards, but we'll do that shortly.
Okay. No problem.
When are you guys starting with online lessons?
We started on Monday. This Monday.
You started already? Accounting?
Accounting, we haven't done anything. We were just complaining about this assignment.
That you can't go to those
Yeah.
restaurants.
So
Is
we
it
can
still
do
that blonde lady? What's your teacher's surname,
it.
Ghana?
It's Holzhausen.
What?
Dr. Holzhausen.
Is it a woman?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
old. She's old.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's her. Oh no. The one that I'm thinking about is from Weight of Life. Is it Weight of Life? We have Weight of Life this side, right?
Yes.
The blonde one is from Weight of Life. So if the lady is a doctor, has a doctorate, I'm guessing. So what is she doing in teaching?
Hey, that woman has been places. We also ask her the same question, like, why are you even teaching? Because she's been financial manager of so many companies.
But she decided to become a
She
teacher.
just decided. But if that's what she chose, I mean, that's good for us.
Yeah, true that. And how many distinctions did she get last year, metric?
Who?
Your accounting teacher.
Just for
Accounting.
the matrix. The highest for matric was an 80.
From one person.
Yeah.
How? What happened?
I I don't know. And it's just from one person, I remember. Yeah.
For metric.
Yes.
From grade 11, your class, how many does she have currently?
With distinctions?
Yeah.
Because I know of one learner in my class that got 99 for accounting.
Is it a he or she?
It's a he.
So only one.
Only
No one above 80.
Above 80, there's also 2 girls. And then the others, they're like below 70. And so on.
I need you there. And I think you can.
Yeah,
but we'll just
should
have
push.
to. You just have to get there. Accounting is easy. You'll see. accounting is just repetition, and once you get it, you're done.
Okay.
Alright, I'm not going to do selling and distribution, but I'm just going to show it to you briefly. Okay, maybe we must do it. Do you have space there?
Depending on what we're going to write.
This is selling and distribution.
Okay.
May you please also write it? I'm simply showing you what will go into selling and distribution. It's sundry expenses that relates to selling and distribution, rent that relates to selling and distribution, depreciation of delivery vehicle. Okay,
Yes.
and then you're gonna have electricity that relates to selling and
Selling and
distribution, and then you're gonna have commission on sales. These two here will always go under selling and distribution. Just know that they must go under selling and distribution. Please write this somewhere. Even if you can use your work as far. Njimile vandaag. Njimile vandaag. I made sure that the 30 minutes I had, I recharge everything.
You made sure.
Didn't want any mistakes.
Yeah, yesterday it was.
No, I came from work, and remember I used it the whole day.
The whole day, yes.
But I'm no longer going to work anymore, so I'm gonna work from home.
Also, are you guys closed now?
Yeah. So it's fully online from tomorrow.
Now online also is more data costs, internet.
I've just bought Rain Starter Pack now, so I'm gonna activate it from here.
You know, we also had rain once. The problem was just maybe network.
Was it a problem around here for you?
Yes, it was a big problem.
Network was bad.
It was horrible. I mean, internet was working, but not as fast, you know.
I hope I won't have problems with Zoom though.
I highly doubt. But for us, yeah.
Because our neighbor uses Rain, so we thought probably if she doesn't complain, hopefully we won't complain. Because Oprah, remember, it's a benefit for us.
Yes.
We get everything there just because we're next to the school.
Next to the school, right?
It's very safe because those guys rotate after every 20 minutes.
Also, everything here was just added.
Yeah. No, everything is it's actually from the example. Please write it as it is. Did you write them as they are?
Yes, I wrote them as they are.
Oh, yes. Okay. It's from the actual example.
Actually, yes.
Okay. And then the last one will be this. Sorry. These ones I included them like this because I needed you to write them down. Okay. So it will be your administration costs. Everything that goes here relates to admin.
Oh, because the table wasn't given.
Yes. I need to get these chairs. I think they're good for studying.
Yeah, these are very good. Because unlike the other ones, like they make you sleepy, you know.
Yeah.
You don't focus as much. Even my mom, when she works here in the garage, like the chair she uses, I wonder how she works throughout the whole day.
Is it those comfy?
Yes, it's just those low back kind of ones.
What does she do?
She's also a bookkeeper.
Ah.
My dad and her have an accounting practice.
So I guess one of them is a CA.
I don't know. I also think so.
You don't know. Wow. So I'm busy talking about CAs here and you've got them in the house.
You know, parents, some things they don't tell us, some things we don't
But
have to
ask.
know.
Ask. How?
Aye. Sometimes I may lose again.
And unfortunately, a doctor can't heal himself.
Hey.
As much as they know accounting, they can't teach you.
Okay.
Alright. We're not done yet, sorry.
Oh,
The
okay.
last one will be your income statement.
Okay.
It'll be sales, but we didn't get any sales value here. And then you're gonna have cost of sales. Cost of sales will be what we got, which is the 780.
From
Cost of sales.
this year.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're gonna get gross profit. Sales minus cost of sales will give us gross profit. But because we don't have sales, I couldn't calculate gross profit. Okay. And then you're gonna have selling and distribution, which is 142,750. You put it in brackets because those are your expenses. And remember, I said these ones don't even go to the production cost statement. They go straight to the income statement. The two that I'm talking about is selling and distribution and administration cost. They do not go anywhere close to your production cost statement.
Okay. Because it's not necessarily
they have nothing to do with production.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why I'm going to put them in brackets because those are your expenses. And then we're going to subtract them for us to get our net profit. But in this scenario, I couldn't get my net profit because I don't have the sales figure.
Okay. So without the sales, does that mean then the company is making a loss?
Yeah, without the sales in this, yes.
Okay.
But just remember, it's impossible for you to have cost of sales without sales.
Sales, yes.
But there are other companies that don't have cost of sales, like your service companies, your banks. Can't think of any right now straight from my head. It's your bank, it's your guarding services, so on. They don't have cost of sales because they don't buy something.
Yes.
They just perform a service. Cost of sales is simply cost of what you buy that you're going to resell at a profit.
And these two are expenses.
Yes. Selling and distributions are just your expenses. Are you fine?
Yeah.
Any questions with respect to 13.2?
Actually, for this raw materials, the closing balance.
Yes.
Which amount will that be?
We didn't have it, remember?
Or at all?
We didn't have it. But they gave us they gave us something. They gave us raw materials issued to production. Please look for it.
This
Raw materials issued to
yes.
manufacturing process during the year amounted to 330. So basically, if I go back to raw materials node, this is what we were given. We had raw materials at the beginning of the year, which is 80,000. We had purchases of 260. We had carriage of 30. When you add all those up, they will give you how much?
370, yes.
But raw materials issued to production was?
Oh.
So we just
We
found
had
the
to check
difference.
the
Yes.
difference. Okay.
Remember, for us to get to here, all we had to do was to take this and then minus that.
That.
But in this scenario, we were not given this.
With
That's why it
five
had to
years.
be a difference. Are we good now?
So it's just because it's the balance at the end of the year.
Yes.
Doesn't that count as the closing balance for this?
It is, but it was not given to us. That's why we had to calculate. So this
find,
was
okay,
X.
Okay, I see. Okay, now I see now.
Got it. Questions? Any other question?
Not at all.
Do you mind writing that down?
Okay.
Just next to your raw material cost.
Okay. So this we had to find by simply taking 370 minus 380. Then this amount is
Those are just raw materials that are available to be used. But we didn't use all of them. We only used 330.
okay.
Only 330 worth of raw materials were taken to production, not the 370 that was available to be used or taken to production.
Okay.
Are we good?
No, we're good.
Okay.